Well, it has been a couple of weeks since Japan's version of Journey Together came out. What's their set called again? Battle Partners, right?
Yeah, they got battle partners.
So they have had battle partners now for a couple weeks. They've had rotation. We talked about some of the decks that were doing well last week or the week before, but now that they've had a little bit more time, let's take another look at what's performing well over in Japan. A little City League watch action. And Azul, I am still seeing quite a bit of Teal Mask Ogrepon EX and Raging Bolt.
Yeah, Radiant Bolt seems to be early on the most successful deck here in Japan. And there's a lot of Dragapult out there as well, so I'd say like those seem to be the top two. And then the thing that catches my eye is the Golden Go. To be honest, is the one thing that's sticking out besides those two. Um, and it's not like ridiculously successful, but Golden Go isn't a deck that's ever been very successful in the past. So the wins that it is getting out there definitely, definitely looking okay for Golden Go.
I think we would be remiss to not mention the deck that has popped up and been a big meme this past week. The Feraligatr Monkey Dory deck, winning a couple
Yeah.
of city leagues over there. This has also popped up in some online tournaments. This is a wild one. So, from what I understand, I have not played this deck. There's a few options here, right? For Alligator's ability, you can put 5 damage counters on it to make it so that its attacks do 120 more damage. So Giant Wave, 160 up to 280. That's pretty good. You've got Monkey Dory. You can move the damage counters off of the Feraligatr. But you also have the option to, with Relicanth in play, with Memory Dive, use Reversed Thrust on this Croconaw, switch into like a Mimikyu, and still hit and run for 150 damage for 1 energy.
Yeah. So there's a couple different strategies you can implement here. You can do a little hit and running. You can just hide behind Mimikyu and move damage over with Monkey Dory. You could technically attack with the Mimikyu because there's a Luminous energy in there. While you're moving damage over with Monkey Dory, you put the Luminous Cape on the Mimikyu, so it's that much harder to deal with any of the Pokemon that your opponent has that can actually hit the Mimikyu. Yeah, it's a weird deck. And this is only started to pop up in Japan first, I feel like, after rotation happened. Um, so that's one thing to take note of there. But we have been seeing people start try to make it work in online tournaments. This feels honestly though, I haven't played with the deck, so I don't know how good it is in our current format pre-rotation. But this kind of feels like the Archaladon situation from literally last format where it's like Archaladon did really good at Champions League. Oh my gosh, Archaladon's good. And it's like, well, hold on, everybody. They're in a different format, but people just kind of ignored that and played a lot of Archaladon, and the deck was pretty mediocre last format, where it's a lot better this format. This might be like the same situation where people are excited for cool new decks, which is cool, but I don't know how good this thing actually is.
Just looking at this small grouping here, 3 wins. And this is all city leagues, so basically league cups, right? So you don't
Yeah.
put the most stock in this, but at the same time, 3 different wins, that's more than a fluke for sure.
Um.
It doesn't mean
Well,
it's an amazing deck.
yeah, it might not. I mean, it still might just be bad. It just might be the best meme deck. Like that's, I guess, yeah. It might just be the best, like, because it's kind of maybe it's just kind of like I'm trying to think of a good comparison as far as like decks go. But yeah, it's like not actually good, but like it winning a League Cup style or level of a tournament isn't a surprise.
So you mentioned the Golden Go. There's a couple different builds floating around here, but there's a couple that pair it with your favorite support Pokemon, the Dunsparce.
Hey, I don't hate the Dunsparce. It's just not good when stuff like B Barrel exists. But we are talking post rotation here, and it's got the
True.
cool new Dunsparce EX, which I have been hyping up. I like this guy a lot.
Yeah, adversarial tail, 60 damage for each of your opponent's Pokemon EX in play. So all these Raging Bolt players going wide with a bunch of EXs and their Area Zero underdepths are just getting smacked by the Dunsparce EX for 1 energy for a 1 hit KO.
Yeah, it's not extremely powerful or anything, but extremely powerful or anything. But being able to play a one of that like just is part of your draw engine evolution line is just always a really powerful inclusion.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. And there's a couple owners decks here that we can now see that have popped up. So we've got where did it just go? Yeah, Archaladon, Zacian, Hop Zacian. This was one I think we looked at one of these lists last week, but you've got the
Yeah.
Zacian, you've got the Snorlax here to boost the damage, you've got the Cramorant in here for the energy efficient attack. Um,
What, 3 to 4 prizes, right?
yeah, in the mid game,
Yeah.
pretty
Just like
straightforward looking list.
yeah, I feel like it's like, we'll see, it'll be interesting. It feels like it's like the best of both worlds. Like, it's good for Zacian because it gives you the energy acceleration of Archaladon, and also for Archaladon, it feels nice to have something that can one-hit KO something finally, right?
Yeah,
Besides Dialga, of course. A
and
little
this
bit
is
more
of course
efficient way to do it.
in taking the place of the Alga since rotation, right?
Yeah, you don't have Dialga anymore, so yeah.
And then there was also an ends deck.
Yeah, nothing too dude, this deck is actually just kind of a disappointment. Well, we kinda I think there will be more Ends Pokemon. I don't think they're gonna do Zoroark like that because this does not feel very powerful. Just having Reshiram and Darmanitan as options. Although, honestly, the Darmanitan is pretty good, right? What does it do? 90 and then 90 damage to a bench Pokemon, discard all energy. And
Yep.
with Ends PP up, it's not that hard to chain that. Manaphy's rotated. Actually, we know Manaphy's gone. Like there's no, they didn't do a reprint. 'Cause that's what it was like last time, I believe. We went from Mew, or Japan went from Mew to Manaphy immediately. We had to wait like 3 months or something. I get the Ends deck right now. I think we will get more Ends Pokemon. That's what I've been saying. But I mean, playing heavily around the Darmanitan is like still okay, I guess. Like it's decent, especially because like Zora copies it for 2 dark energy, which means you're just an attach plus ends PP up away from back to back Darmanitans. Like you can kind of I don't know, you could it can be pretty devastating, right? Pretty big back to back turns or just like completely eliminating your opponent's setup Pokemon, stuff like that.
It's also got Power Glass in here as well. So you discard all energy, get reattached. You got
Yeah.
280 HP, so you're probably not getting KO'd right away.
You got the stadium. Like these things got heavy retreat costs as well, too on the Reshiram 3 on the Darmanitan. So you got some mobility. Yeah, so if you don't have the power glass you need to get from Zoroark to Zoroark to combo with the energy acceleration, you got that going for you. Oh, there's 2 reversals in here as well. I didn't even see that.
Yeah,
You
attack with
actually
the
can
Darmanitan.
yeah, you can actually attack with the Darmanitan, which is kind of cool. I don't know. This deck, I don't know, maybe there's a little bit more here. I feel like we're gonna definitely get some more ends cards, but um there might be a little bit more there than I was initially giving it credit for, to be honest.
Now, is there more here?
Nope. Maybe one
Festival lead.
is it one of the best decks to play Rabska in?
What's this
Honestly,
thing?
probably not. That's the thing that shuffles your prize cards, right? Or
Oh yeah, yeah,
swaps out
yeah,
your
yeah.
prize cards. This deck doesn't even play Team Evo, so this isn't even the best deck to play Rabskin, to be honest. Rabskin's just kind of there.
And then of course we got to have good old Seek Inspiration Slow King in here winning a City League.
You got the new good option in the Brigigigas for this one. That's like the big inclusion there for sure. It is a Zatu build as well.
It plays the Max Rod.
Honestly,
That's kind of
that's pretty
cool.
good.
Yeah.
That's pretty good in here. Hold up, hold up.
Academy at night, put the card on top, and then Slow King discards it.
Yeah, this list has 2 Drayton, so I'm not like a big fan of that. But besides the Draytons in here, I like everything else that's going on for sure.
You just got to find Pokemon. Is that the most efficient way to do that?
Getting Night Stretcher is also decent. Is there really
True.
nothing better?
I mean, yeah, it's
Honestly, this
probably
wants like a Bill's transfer, right? Look at top 8, take all Pokemon or something. Is that what Bill's transfer did?
yeah. No, no. There, it's still in the format of the card you're thinking of.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, Bill's transfer was 2
It's
trainer
two
cards.
trainer cards. Yeah, you're thinking of no, you are thinking of Bill's transfer. You were thinking of Bill's analysis. But yeah,
Okay.
Bill's transfer. Look at the top 8 cards. Reveal any number of Pokemon you find there, and put them in your hand.
But I guess maybe getting 1 trainer card might be a little
I
bit
think
better.
the flexibility that Drayton offers is probably worth it. I feel like Drayton could be okay.
Yeah, I don't think it's terrible. It's just like bad compared to what we have. You read something like Arvin and you're like, all right, well, this probably isn't that good. But we are losing 4 Sealstone. That was a big part of Arvin's power. So Arvin's becoming less powerful.
And you've got the Tatsugiri Latias engine. Let's get it.
I don't really like putting Latias in play in this deck feels kind of mid. Get some rushing
Putting
boards in there or something.
well, you're probably gonna have. I think you're assuming you're gonna have Squawk and Fez in play already anyway, right?
Every game?
Probably most of them, dude. You gotta this deck. There's no draw engine. I mean, Zatu
There's
is
no
like
there's no bench
okay.
space at that point. We have no bench space anymore.
Well, you need one Zatu. You need a Slow King in the active, a Slow Poke on the
Poke on the
bench.
bench.
You
That's
got Tatsu,
3.
Latias, Fez.
Okay, so we won't be using Squawk and Fez every game. One
Probably
of
not.
them
Yeah.
maybe. Yeah. Yeah, I tried to make this deck. I came up with an initial build. I had Life Part in here for just like more draw support and tried to avoid ever having any two prizers in play. But there might be some more validity to it moving forward. One of the problems is stuff like Radiant Greninja, which will be gone. Yeah. I'm always rotation is always nice because it's like usually the bigger shakeup. Even if some decks we played before become potentially the best decks, we're looking at a lot. We see a lot of Dragapult and Raging Bolt here, but the way they play, I mean, at least Dragapult's probably the exact same deck, but Raging Bolt's a lot different. Um, yeah, I don't
Yeah.
think Dragapult like doesn't change at all.
Yeah. Dragapult Charizard, a little bit of a thing. It looks like
Yeah,
a couple of those floating around. Oh, this has got the Clefable or the Clefairy in it. That's actually kind of cool for the mirror tech. Did we
yeah,
look at
got it.
wait, we looked at one last week that had this too, I think, didn't we?
Yeah, we did. Yeah.
That's
Wait,
right.
but wait, doesn't it take? Can you go back to that? Does it take? You have to set it up over 2 turns. There's no Crispin in here either. You have to attach that thing twice.
Bro, you can Charizard to it.
Oh yeah, true. I was like so confused for a second. I was like, how are we getting this thing set up? There's Pidgeot in here as well, bro. With the whole squad, 3 stage 2s. It's back.
Gang gang. There they are. But yeah, so there's a couple decks. Still early on. I think we're both kind of excited to see what happens once we get an opportunity to have rotation. But there's still a lot of Pokemon left to be played. We've got the current format. We've got Merida coming up, and we're going to talk about that here very soon.